Hey, 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 everyone. Hello. Dr. Phil Sledz and I here today, you guys. We're super excited about today because we're talking about something that I think that at some point in our lives we all struggle with, and that is weight and, maybe our body composition and losing weight and being stuck and on a plateau. And so we're going to talk today about this program. You've probably been watching, you've seen it, you've maybe seen it in our stories, and we call it the 5-day drop. And it is called that because you can truly lose 5 pounds in 5 days. So as y'all are jumping on, I would love to know where you are coming in from. Again, I'll introduce myself. My name is Jennifer Piper Kennedy. I live in Kamloops, BC, Canada. Dr. Phil Sledz is a functional medicine doctor, chiropractor, pilot, and just an all-around healthy guy, you guys. And he lives in Austin, Texas. And so we're here today, you guys, because we want to just share, maybe debunk some myths. We want to share why this is working so good and how we've actually both done it and had amazing results. We'll share that with you. And kind of share a little bit more of the science behind it, and just a little more info, you guys. So if you've heard of the 5-day drop, or maybe you've done the 5-day drop, I would love you to comment in the comments and let us know. If you've done the 5-day drop, put your results, because we all love results. And I think results speak, volumes. And let's just start it out with actually, I'll just share my story. How about I'll start with that? Hey, Dr. Phil. Okay, I'm going to start with me. So I am 51. I am perimenopausal, menopausal. I don't even know. And I have, I don't know about the ladies. I'm going to speak to the ladies maybe watching, is I've worked out my entire adult life. I like the last 10 years, I've been lifting weights because lifting weights is really good for muscle tone. And as we age, we lose that. So I've always been really on target with my fitness. I eat really well, you guys. I don't eat a bunch of junk. I eat, yes, I have the occasional glass of wine. Yes, I'll eat chips if they're in front of me, but I eat overall really well. I don't ever eat out really fast food or anything. And I eat healthy, much to my 3 boys' annoyance, is we eat healthy in this home. And so what I was finding, though, is every year for the last, probably I think since I've turned 46, for me, 46 was like the year where it's like a pound or 2 extra every year, and a pound or 2, or maybe 5, right? And it just kind of creeps up on you. And it's like you keep thinking, well, maybe my scale's wrong because I've always weighed this and now I'm not. It must be the scale. So I go back to what I do. I eat healthy, I work out, and I can do that all day long. But what I was finding is, again, that it was just creeping up on me. And so this January was probably the heaviest I've been in, except being pregnant, which us ladies can relate to, in a while. And I was like, wow. And yes, I had muscle tone. Yes, I'm strong and all that, but it was kind of buried, right, underneath everything. And so I started really getting dialing in January and, try to figure it out. Like I tried to eat more protein because I know that as women, as we age, protein is key. So I was really prioritizing protein. I was trying to not eat inflammatory foods that I knew were inflammatory to me. I was trying to eat more regularly. I was trying all the things, right? And I lost a couple pounds and I was like, yes. But I still had a lot to go. In March, I had a little bit of stress happen, which kickstarted another little weight loss thing, which, again, ladies, we know sometimes that's like a little hidden benefit, right? But still, it was like snail's pace. So this program comes out. Heard about it we heard about it. We were in Belize and we started talking about it with some of the people there. And I jumped in, all in, because I was like, okay, I would like to lose 5 pounds. And I'm the type of person, I don't like crazy. I'm not a fad diet girl. I've never done any of the fad diets. Never. I don't like depriving myself a lot because my brain tells me that I want it more. I don't like being hungry. I get really hangry. And I don't like complicated. Some of the ones I've looked at and you have to measure it all out and get a scale and do all that, just right? And I'm on the go a lot. So I want something simple. So I heard about this. And I started my drop last couple of days of May. I think it was May 29th, 28th. and I did my 5-day drop. Now I'd already lost some weight, so I actually didn't think I would lose more because I was kind of at my like 15-year healthy, place. And you guys, I lost 2.4 pounds the first day. Okay. Because you weigh yourself I also don't weigh myself typically. You weigh yourself right away. 2.4 pounds. Guess what that did for me? I was like, oh heck, I am all in. And I told myself the whole time I can do anything for 5 days. So I lost 4.5 pounds in 5 days. And you guys, I haven't lost, like, prior to this, that 4.5 pounds would have taken me 6 weeks. Okay. It was like snail's pace. So the cool thing about this, which we're going to talk about the types of weight, because this is key, because I think that sometimes we think of 5 pounds of fat. I did not lose 5 pounds of fat, and I would have loved that, but we know that that's pretty much impossible in that short of a time. So we're going to talk about, we'll probably jump into that right away. But I lost 5 pounds, and I took photos, and the biggest area I noticed it, you guys, was my face and my tummy, the bloat, right? So I lost the bloat, and this is now 5 or 6 weeks later, I've not gained back even half a pound, and I'm living my life. Like, I'm going back to my healthy eating, all the things I did before. So I think that's really cool. So Dr. Phil, you'd have done your 5-day drop, and you guys, I told you in the beginning, he's healthy. He's super fit, like super fit. He exercises all the time. So he's super fit. It's not like you have like all this extra weight to lose. But what was your, like for me, I was stuck. Nothing was really working. That was my push to do the 5-day drop. What was it for you?
So thanks for having me here, Jen. You guys, for people watching on my timeline, Jen Piper Kennedy, great person here, all around expert in a lot of things. She's an entrepreneur extraordinaire. I'll just say that. She's owned a Sears clothing store and a grocery store all at once, and she's got a big background in wellness. And it's always an honor to be here with her. Thanks so much for the intro too. And we're talking, this 5-day drop. This is something that's exciting, losing 5 pounds in 5 days. And like Jen talked about with her results, the results are crazy because, I mean, in a good way. All right. Mm-hmm. This thing has gone viral. It really caught a lot of us by surprise in a way when we started doing it and sharing it with our friends. It's free information. So reach out to us, reach out to the person sharing this video. We've got free information for you to look over. And like Jen said, for me, the goal was maybe a little bit different. Not to lose maybe 5 pounds per se, but definitely to shape. I wanted more shaping. I wanted to affect some of the areas where maybe I had just a little bit more fat, but I also want to transform it and create more muscle. And so you can do those things with this too. And the beauty of it that Jen really touched on was that it's the simplicity of this. It's the simplicity. You have to walk around with an app. You don't have to have something tracking every calorie that you take in, or you're counting, macros and things like that. Basically, it's marine proof. That's the term I like to use, being a Marine. And everything's with relationship to the size of your hand. And you're not just eating from one food group. You're not just eating all protein. You're eating protein. You're eating vegetables. You're eating carbs, quality carbs. You're eating healthy fats. And it'll tell you, palm of your hand, size of your fist, a fist and a half, size of your thumb. It's easy. You can take this guide. And the nice thing is, it isn't telling you one type of protein to eat, salmon or steak. It lets you choose. You get to choose.
Yes.
So the simplicity of this is what makes this wonderful. So you can eat foods that really jive with your body type. So for me, I lost a little bit of weight, but I was able to actually add some pounds of muscle, which is my goal that Jen was talking about. And so I did this, and I used an in-body body composition device that we have at Lifetime Fitness here. You can go in and you can check it, and you can look at visceral fat levels and things like that, because I always test a lot of the supplements we use and different plans and see what's changing your body. Yeah. I like looking at visceral fat because that hangs on. That's kind of visceral fat. If you've never heard that, that's the fat that can accrue inside your body. It clings to organs. It'll stick to it can grow around your heart, your pancreas, your kidneys, things like that. And that's really a better indicator for disease and illness. Mm-hmm. So this is a great way to kickstart or to implement a change, healthy eating in your diet. And with that in mind, did you want me to jump into the
Let's talk. Okay, so two things. So again, you guys, the key with this 5-day drop is, again, it's so simple. You just follow the plan. And the meal plan, again, when we say meal plan, I always think that sounds complicated. It literally is like, you pick a protein, and again, based on the size of the palm of your hand, right? and you pick a fat or you pick a vegetable. And then there's a list of suggestions. So it was like bulletproof for me. Like I just would go, okay, tonight I'm going to have chicken. Tomorrow I'm having salmon, right? I'm going to have for lunch tuna. Like it was so simple. And then you also, they tell you when to eat. And I think that this was key. This was key for me. Okay. Because I just get busy and I forget to eat. And then what happens is I go and I'm so hungry that I'll eat whatever, right? And until that shuts off in your brain. And so for me and for most of my clients, their biggest aha was that they were both taking their supplements on timed out, which was everything, you guys, because I also was not good at that. So the combination of taking their supplements and eating at the proper time so that the blood sugar wasn't dipping and they weren't doing like I would and just go eat anything. And so I want to share this really quick before we get started with this. So this launched like last day of May 30th or something like that. We sold 20,000 of the 5-day drops in like days. It was crazy. And then you couldn't get it anymore. Then you couldn't get it. Then it was like sold out. And they actually shipped only a few, and then the rest had to ship like beginning of June, and then we were sold out again. So it actually just came back in stock. That's why we're doing this now. It is just now back in stock. It just started shipping again on Friday, and they're still getting through the whole month of back orders, you guys. This thing has went nuts, and why it's going nuts is people are getting results. So I was sharing with Phil before we started here that I have so far, I think I have 58 women. I think there's a couple guys in there. 58 women who have trusted me to help them with their goals, right? Their health goals. And everyone is having results. Everyone is having results. Now, the scale moves more than others. I've had as much as like 10 pounds in 5 days. I've had as little as 3.5. But the 3.5 girls, guess what? Those were ones that had like lots of other stuff going on in their life, like menopause, like lots of other things. And they literally have not been able to lose half a pound in years. And their photos, though, of like their tummy were incredible, where you could really tell. So the scale is like the one thing, but we also have you take photos because it's everything, measurements. And that's where a lot of my clients are noticing, like their tummy especially, like it's crazy. Hey, feel like the reduction in bloat. So let's talk about the 4 types of weight, because that's kind of, again, why some people were noticing like, here or your tummy. Like I was just at my osteopath just now before this, and she hasn't seen me since I think before the 5-day drop. And she's like, your face, you could tell in your face. And I was like, yay, right? Yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the 4 types of weight.
So, and backing up just a little bit, because what Jen talked about was we have a supplement pack assembled to accompany this. Because you guys, it's just in my practice and seeing, we just don't get what we need through diet alone. So supplementation is to complement this. The crutch is in the meal plan. So you're going to want to talk to your person and reach out to them and organize this and get the information. We have free information for you to look over. And there is a supplement plan that accompanies this to help.
Which is key. I will say that. Like it's key, you guys, because especially with the bloat and the tummy, and these are all supplements that I have in my cupboard that I was not using or not using effectively. So this taught me how to use them effectively. And I have many of my clients who are just continuing on with the supplements and they're maintaining their results. Okay. So
absolutely. And it's important to remember, because we're focused on this meal plan. You can't out exercise a bad diet. You can't out supplement a bad diet. That's why we need this guide and the supplement plan working together to get these results, and the results happen. So basically it's addressing the 4 key ways, the 4 main stubborn ways that our body can hold on to weight. Okay. So the 4 key ways, if you've never heard those, are basically through excessive bloat. Okay. So water weight in the wrong places. We can have that. We can have fat. Fat is one of those sources. Puffiness is another one. And I'm kind of dropping the 4th one here, Jen.
Digestive bulk? Do you say digestive bulk?
Digestive bulk. Digestive. That's a big one. I can't believe that one slipped my mind. Digestive bulk. Thank you. Glad to have you here. Digestive bulk. So let's just go through those real quickly and talk about how, because this, like I said, this diet plan is doing the right thing with the supplement in synergy to help address these 4 key areas. So water weight. When we can hold water, folks, in tissues in areas of our body that we're not supposed to. That's a lot of this. And it's not from drinking too much water. Actually, drinking more water can actually help you lose that water in these other areas. Really, water being held in peripheral tissues is actually connected to one of the other 4 points, which is a byproduct of inflammation, because inflammation is what sends out these little chemicals into other periphery tissues, causing us to hold on to water in other areas. So we might be edema, might be other forms of a storing liquid in the wrong areas. And so we're affecting that in a positive way with both the diet plan and the supplement plan. So when we correct that and we hydrate properly with this plan and use that, we actually are getting water into the tissues we want, the right tissues, and we're flushing out moving toxins, and we're helping the body adjust and get the water out of the periphery. So that's a big one. Another one, digestive bulk. And that actually, this is one of my favorites. That's why I can't believe I forgot this, because folks, in all the functional medicine studies that I've done, we talk a lot about how in the average Western digestive tract, and the average Western digestive tract, how much food is really kind of stagnant, not really moving through there. And it can be in pounds, here in the United States, anywhere from 2 upward to like 7 to 8 pounds. And you got to have, you got to have things moving, folks. You got to have things moving. You want to have things moving all the way from mouth to where it comes out. Okay. You got to have good, healthy peristalsis. You have to have the right critters in there to help do it. That's why probiotics are so important. Mm-hmm. It's good to give your digestive tract a break. Okay. You need that to help get that and get the peristalsis going to move things along. You need proper hydration, and you want to be detoxifying and supporting the body. So getting the gut going, this is important. Getting the digestive bulk out of the body. That's why when you see these drops, that's not unhealthy. That's not unhealthy, because you can hold in your intestines a lot of this weight. And so getting your body to get rid of it is a good thing. Okay. We want that out. It's got to get out. We use what we need, get it out. Okay. The third point I'll talk about here, where we can hang on to stubborn weight, is the byproducts of inflammation. Basically, they do things, they send out little chemicals, kind of what I talked about earlier, holding water. These chemicals can damage tissues, create little proteins we don't want that draw in water and hold it in peripheral tissues, and we don't want that. Okay, we want to get it out of those areas and get it into muscle and organs and things that need it. And and through our kidneys and other areas of our digestive tract. So that's important. So we're going to be bringing down the byproducts of inflammation. That's another beautiful thing about this program. And then the last one, of course, is fat. So we're getting our body's metabolic rate adjusted to eating. And like Jen talked about, timing. That's a beautiful thing, because I think structure is good for everyone. We all need some structure in our life. This gives us the structure we need. It tells us when to take these products, when to eat, and it lays it out. And that's a thing that, like Jen talked about, where we're all busy. Okay. Western lifestyle is a busy lifestyle. Mm-hmm. We can miss a meal. Then all of a sudden we delay it and we push it back even further. We get hangry and we overeat at the wrong time. Okay. Mm-hmm. Who's guilty of that? I am. I'm raising my hand there. Okay. We all do it. So this really gives you more structure, and it gets you in those eating times when you should be eating, and we're not stuffing at the later part of the day. So that's how we get all these things together. We're actually going to burn some fat. It would be unhealthy to burn 5 pounds of fat. We're not saying that. We're not losing 5 pounds of fat in 5 days. We're losing 5 pounds. But really, I think the benefit, Jen, and you can comment on this too, is the measurements. Like you talked about, around the tummy, people measuring around, the waist, the thighs, things like that. Like the big thing that I love is seeing when people share the results are not just the pounds coming down, which are cool. I just did a live with a client yesterday, and she lost over 6.5, and it's still off. And that's great. And she was skeptical. There are people that are skeptical going into this that are non-believers. But again, because it was put together by, I call it the collective genius. We are not saying that because we're implying that we're smarter than everyone. We're not saying that. We're saying in this group, the group that Jen and I belong to, we have a lot. Everyone pours in their best. Everyone gives 1,000%. And that's what we mean by that. So we have a lot of great minds putting this together and incorporating a lot of great things that we have, a lot of tools in our toolkit. So with that, right back to you. Yeah.
So, let's just talk about the timing of the meals. Again, I will say so a couple things. These are some of the cool things that, again, I've had over 50 people do this. One of the other cool things, I probably had 5 who have Apple Watches, and their resting heart rate was all lower, all of them. which was really interesting, including my friend Jocelyn, who she's like actually in Colorado right now, about to do some crazy race through the mountains that she's been training for the last 8 months. Someone who's super fit who did this, right? But that was something that was really cool. The other thing that most women said is they realized they weren't eating enough. So they were likely, their body, their metabolism had almost shut down. Hey, right? They're not eating enough and everything just becomes super, super sluggish. So maybe let's talk about that, because I do believe, especially for women, right? Well, and then we'll talk about menopause as well. But like so many of my clients, that was the thing. They're like, holy, I've never eaten this much ever. And I was like, oh my goodness, right? Like and I think it's because they were eating so regularly, right? Do you have any thoughts around that?
Absolutely. I was like, when I stopped and handed it back to you, I go, wait a minute, I got a couple more points that I really want to get out there to you guys. So and I know Jen's going to agree, is that why I love this too, is we're getting the weight down. We're shaping our bodies, right?
Yes.
By feeding our body. We're not doing starvation diets, folks. I'm not a fan of starvation diets. Now, there is a fast that segs into this. Fasting is healthy. Fasting goes back in many different types of health practices, whether you're studying TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, which I have. We talk about it in Ayurvedic medicine, okay? All these different older schools of thought that have been around the planet for thousands of years incorporated that periodically into the recovery. It gives your gut a break. It lets your body push out toxins. There's so much benefit, but we're feeding your body. We're feeding your body. And the net effect that Jen talked about, we get more energy without caffeine, the healthy skin glow, the weight reduction, all these things. So we're feeding the body. And then what was the main question? Because I went in that little tangent.
Just about how even that's so many people were actually, I think their results were better because they were eating regularly and feeding their body the proper nutrients instead of like grabbing whatever, like empty carbs or something else. Right. But right. Most of my women, that was the most common thing. They were like, I have to set alarms to eat because I wasn't eating enough. Right. So they kind of does it almost like slows your metabolism down.
Exactly. Like I am not exactly the most hungry person at those times that it's suggested, and getting food in at that time was very helpful, because then it gives you more of the day to burn it off too, which is really important. And with the hunger mechanism, the beauty of the beta pack, the supplements, is we have two things in there that are going to help with blood sugar and digesting your food. So you don't have that mechanism in the brain getting triggered as readily about, oh, I got to have the jelly donut. If that is dangling in front of you. The probiotics and the enzymes are so important. I could just talk about those
forever.
Just very important, folks. Probiotics, they help you digest your food. They're going to help you digest your food. So these things together help you feel satiated, the enzymes and probiotics, with the food that you're eating. Yeah. So when you're eating that food, it's going to help you absorb it, and you're going to get it to where you need to. And again, we're going back to the meal plan. We're eating the right things at the right time of the day, so we don't have that crazy craving really grab us as strongly at the end of the day.
Love it. So again, this is something I've just read a lot about, because again, I'm perimenopause, menopause, and I do a ton of research around it. And something that I learned is that when that happens, because your hormones are dropping, you almost become insulin resistant, right? And so then I was like, okay, so also for women, if this is you, and this is where, again, this is the stage of your life you're in, it's more important to eat regularly and to eat the protein too. Like that's the key, than probably ever in our entire lives because of that. And so it's almost like it's helping with that, right? And I've kind of tried to continue following most of the timing of the meals and everything. But do you want to talk about that at all? About that whole, how that dynamic works?
With the timing, you mean, as far as?
And how, like, because your hormones are dropping, you're a bit more insulin resistant, and how kind of keeping your blood sugar stable is key. Very important.
Very important. And getting a good quality protein source. I know I talk to patients that have come into my office that aren't getting what I consider to be an adequate amount of protein early on in the day. And that's very important, because the earlier you can get on that animal protein we're talking about, that really is a big stabilizer for blood sugar. Now, people who are vegans are watching this, you're going to have to work in with things that would be more appropriate for your diet plan. Okay. We do have them, and they're probably watching, but getting that in, getting the protein in early on in the day is so important for setting that will help prevent those big spikes that you have. as opposed to eating something really sugary and sweet in the morning because maybe you were craving that, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Love it. I love it. So again, and most of my women, I would say, were that. I had a few like younger moms, just had a baby. Just trying to think of the scale of my clients, but I would say the majority of my 50 plus people who've done this with me are, 45 to probably 70. And again, you guys have tried everything and that they aren't getting the results. So let's talk a little bit about maintenance, because I honestly, full disclosure, I thought, so I did it Monday through Friday. And then I went to my boyfriend's place on the Saturday and we had some wine. And I think we even went out for dinner that night. And in my brain, I was like, oh crap, I'm going to gain it all back, right? Because I actually believed it was mostly water weight. And I have not gained anything back. And we're at 6 weeks now. So let's talk a bit about that. And I'll say the majority of my clients, a few have slid back 1 or 2 pounds, but no one has gained back what they lost in full, which I think that's mind blowing.
It's, I think it's great because you got the meal plan. You don't have to redo it with the fast. You can just take some of those ideas. Again, you're learning principles. Folks, diet becomes a bad word for people because they think, oh, I'm going to starve myself. We don't want to starve. Starvation diets don't work. We got to feed your body. You're the worst setup in the world is when you go low calorie, because you tell your body to go into storage mode because you're starving it. That's what the body does. So when you eat a little bit of food, it's going to take it and go, oh my gosh, he must be in a bad situation, or she. So we got to put this into storage because we don't know, is this a dire situation here? So you can take the habits. The habits become learned when you put it into practice. We're not in information. Life is not an information process, right, Jen? It's an application process, and we're taking this and we're applying it. And that's the beauty of it. So the maintenance can be, you learn the habits. You keep in the habits. You got the easy to read flip book, which I love. It's so simple, so cool to look. I love the noise it makes when you flip the little page, by the way. Yeah. Can I comment for the maintenance of the water? Because I've heard that.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say the same thing. We got to talk about the water, because I've had people say to me, oh, that's water. There's that, whatever that thing is about the water. And I was like,
yeah. When people see that can be daunting because they so I just want to help frame this from my perspective. So high consumption of water, a pure water source, is essential. And there's this big amount of water on there that it recommends you drink. And we've all got our, beverages.
Three of these on the 5-day drop. And I still actually continue that.
So let's talk about how we can recognize proper hydration, folks, because we are very underhydrated in the Western diet. And by hydrating ourselves properly with one of the mineral supplements on here, we remove the peripheral edema, the bloat, the water in the wrong places, and we put it in the right places. Okay, that's why the supplement plan is so important. With the hydration, ideally what we want to be drinking is, half of our body weight in ounces a day. Per day. Okay, I'm going to do some math. I like to keep things simple. I need examples of marine. Okay, let's just say a person is 160 pounds. Okay, so you take that, divide it in half. That's 80. So essentially, you should be drinking, if you're 160 pounds, you should be drinking 80 ounces a day. And ideally, about half of that 80 ounces, preferably before noon, because again, you're coming off of a large fast. Remember, when you sleep, you're not really hydrated that well. Break the fast. That's breakfast. That's when we're breaking the fast. We should really be hydrating our body heavily first thing in the morning. And that's important because that helps keep our metabolic enzymes going. That's the thing that's running every single process in your body, with hormones telling your eyes to focus. Metabolic enzymes run the whole show, folks. They do everything. And then your digestive enzymes, they need proper pH to operate in your body, and they need that water to be activated. They're hydrolytic. They get activated by water, not by a lack of water. That's when things start to shut down. So I just want to put that out there because it's important to be consuming higher amounts of water. I definitely tell my patients and clients that we want to see clear urine coming out at least 2 times a day, and preferably more. And if we are just urinating to the point where it's mostly yellow because we're dehydrated, we're drinking a lot of diuretic types of things, alcohol, coffee, things like that can cause us to push out and lose a lot of water, we got to be hydrating more. So it is a little bit of a shift for some people. They haven't seen that much water. Consume it, and it's best not to consume it right with a meal. So eat the meal, let the meal do its thing, drink the water around the meals. So.
Yeah, and we encourage everyone to have all your water even before, like most of it before your dinner, right? And I will say this too, that was a shift for a lot of my clients, because some would drink, 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day. And so them just drinking that amount of water was everything. And you guys, every time you're drinking the water, you're drinking it with this amazing, yummy, berry flavored revitalized mineral drink that's part of the 5-day drop supplements. So it's actually delicious, right? Like, it is so good. So I've had people who were kind of like, oh, I don't really do plain water, who are like all over this now because they have something that they can drink. Like, I always have some sort of Revitalize or our Phytos in my water all the time, just because I like how it tastes, right? But I think that that's key. So we fast. So let's start with the fasting, because again, I'll say that I'm not a faster. I've never been able to, but why I could do this one, you guys, it's the first day and the whole time you're fasting. So you eat at 5 o'clock. Okay. So that's your dinner, which I ate at literally at 5:01 p.m. like an 80-year-old woman. Like, I was like, my meal is ready. I'm eating at 5. I never eat that early, but I was like hungry. But the fasting actually wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, because you're drinking your minerals all day long, right? So it actually kind of like carried me through. I had a little bit of a headache the first day because I'm a caffeine girl. I have coffee every day. So that was a bit of a shift for me. But also I learned, okay, I can go a day without coffee and not die, which was awesome. And I just shifted to way less caffeine overall since I've been doing this the last 6 weeks. But the fasting, I think that a lot of times when we hear fasting, we think long-term, multiple days. But everyone that I worked with was able to do this, everyone. So if that kind of scares you a little bit, know that it's not even a full 24 hours. It's literally until dinner time, right? That is it. You can do it. Anyone can do it.
I think anyone can do that. It's like I said, that's the beauty of it, the simplicity, the short periods of times to do this. And you're giving that gut a much needed rest. It's going to compact and get things going in there. That maybe, because if you go meal upon meal upon snack upon meal, it's one thing. It's like, okay, and I'm trying to move this out. Now there's this other thing coming in. It's a donut or whatever you had. And it's trying to get the stuff processed and packaged and move out. That's why when people do a fast, typically the bowel activity is great for their first bowel movement after the fast. You typically move a lot out. And again, going back to the ease of the fast, that's because we're mineralizing. We have something in there that helps with blood sugar, enzymes. It's a big part. Mm-hmm. So you don't get the big spikes. Okay. Mm-hmm. You're supplementing with that, but you have the Revitalize to help. Okay. You've got some things in there that are great to help with the blood sugar, but also your gut health and a lot of other aspects. So yeah, that definitely all contributes to making the fast easier, for sure.
I love it. I'm just checking these comments. Okay, so, oh my gosh, see, Judy just said she's off coffee and fully now. So this is something else that I learned. Okay, and if you eat at 5, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say you're an 80-year-old woman. That was just me. I never eat at 5. So the other thing that a lot of my clients noticed is that they actually are like have less cravings and less sweet cravings after doing their drop. And is that because you're retraining ourselves to eat properly and be satiated by proper foods?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're right. It's whole foods. So, I mean, if someone says this is unhealthy, if I hear that, I'm going to really scratch my head hard and go, okay, let's talk about this. Well, what are you seeing in here? We're eating whole foods. We're eating healthy portions. We're not eating one group. We're not just eating protein. No. And we're not just eating one type of protein, steak. We're eating carbs. We're eating fats. We're eating all the groups. We're getting a lot of fiber in there. So the fiber helps satiate when you're getting the vegetables in there. So that helps with the cravings. You're getting the digestive enzymes. You're helping you more completely absorb your food, right? And it's giving you this period of time where you can be a little bit more disciplined. So when you give yourself more sugar and sweets, that's going to tell the mechanism in there to, hey, give me more of those. Because we see the gut flora changes very quickly with whatever we eat. Mm-hmm. If we're constantly eating one type of food, a lot of sugary sweets, then the flora changes. and it adjusts more to that, we might get unwanted bacteria or fungal forms that send off chemicals that affect our craving mechanism. We don't want that. So that's why it's important to inoculate yourself, I think, every day with probiotics, because we just get hit with so much stuff.
Yes.
Our diet, whether it's processed foods, but also insecticide, pesticide in water, and all the PFAS, debris, all the stuff on there that really isn't great for us that we just get hit with. And so probiotics help out with the cravings too. So digestive enzymes, the probiotics, and like Jen said there, we're getting the right portions. We're getting
timing.
So at the timing, the right time of day. Yep, absolutely.
I'm just reading some of these comments, you guys. Trisha was like, I am down more than 12 pounds. And more importantly, I feel incredible. Energy is off the charts. This is also, everyone was saying their energy was through the roof, you guys. Like, that was something that was really cool.
Without caffeine, without stimulants. There's nothing in this that's giving you a jolt of it. We're not caffeinating your body and you're going, oh my gosh. This is because, again, it's the diet plan and the supplements. So it's energy, clarity.
Well, this is Francine. I know who this is. It's not coming up, but her hubby and both did it 3 weeks ago. Her husband went down 5.7 pounds. He's been stuck too for a long time. She went down 5.1. Second round, 7.4 and 9.9. That's insane. Oh, and again, this is something that I notice a lot too, is a lot of times the women seem to initiate it, but the husbands, especially if they didn't do it the first round, the husbands are like, okay, I want it in the second round. And I had a few couples who do this together. So Fran makes a good point in this. So again, you guys, this 5-day drop isn't designed to be like a life. You're going to do 5 day, over and over and over again, back to back. I'm actually starting my next 5-day drop next week. So I waited 6 weeks in between, but we have another program that, again, everything is given to you, the timing, the what to eat, the everything, you guys. It's so simple. And it's called our Lean Lifestyle Program. So it's a 30-day program. So the idea is you do your 5-day drop, which basically you break through a plateau. It kickstarts your metabolism. It kicks freaking menopause in the ass, because that's exactly what it does. And perimenopause, kind of helps people break through. And honestly, for this is what it did the most for me, is I had a 5-pound win. And then when you get that win, you guys are like, oh, okay, I did that in 5 days. I can now follow something else for 30 days. So this is also, we're having way more success for everyone who's using our Lean Lifestyle Program because of the 5-day drop, because they have their win and now they just transfer over to a new program. So we do have a promo coming up on Thursday, Friday, Saturday on that particular system, you guys. So you want to make sure, we're not going to talk about it today, but again, it's simple. It's 4 products all together that supplement with, again, you get the entire meal plan, you get everything and people are having amazing results, continuing on, right, in between. But what you want to do is make sure you connect with whoever shared this with you. I'm just going to see if I see any more. You guys pop your results in the comments, because I lost a bunch way up here. Way up here. I'm trying to get them up, right? Because there's so many. I'm trying to go get them. But that's on a promo. You actually get a free gift with purchase starting on Thursday, which is really, really cool. And then the 5-day drop. Again, I want everyone to know, okay, we launched it, 20,000 units sold in literally weeks. It was insane. And then we couldn't get it. And then we got the second round all shipped mid-June. So most of my second round of customers shipped in mid-June. And again, you guys, I have over 50 people who have done this and all have had results. And now our third round of customers just started shipping on Friday. We have not yet sold out, but you guys, at the rate this is going, we're selling out. And what's happening now is all the people that have done it and got results, they're now telling their friends. So literally every day I get a message from one of my clients who've done it. And they're like, okay, Jen, I just was at lunch with so-and-so and she noticed that I've lost weight. So she's going to be giving you a call, or can you connect with her, kind of thing. So what's happening now is all of our customers are telling their friends, or their friends are noticing. I have 2 girls. I think I'm allowed to say their names. Jessa and Kathleen, they're in my business group. We have a networking, like all women in business in my community. And I've been with these girls for like 12 years. So 2 of them have done the drop so far. Both of them lost 8 pounds, 8.2 and 8.4. And tomorrow night we have our meeting. So they're going to walk in all like svelte and feeling all good, which is awesome, so that we can talk about it. But it has been awesome.
Jen, can I make one comment about the hormones again? Because this is really important, because we do have a tool that can really help out. If you're in the perimenopause, menopause, we can really help you out with that. But going back to this, why this is a good seg to kick in, because in functional endocrinology, something that we do, a lot of my friends do it. Maybe they're watching. Maybe you, Jen, you got a lot of health experts out there too that do this in their practice or with their health coaching. But insulin is one of the things that this helps with. It helps stabilize, and that is a hormone that what I call it's like the picture of like an inside of an old clock where you have these big cogwheels all touching each other. Insulin's like the big one. It's the big gear wheel, the big gear wheel that touches all the other ones. So it's like in the hormone system, it's the hormone that touches all these other hormones. That's why when insulin spikes, we have all this erratic insulin activity. We feel libido. We see libido go down and energy go down in both men and women. I talk to a lot of guys that have it. So that's why this is the perfect seg for this. This diet does have a favorable impact. It teaches people, wow, this really does impact how I feel hormonally. And a lot of times hormonal issues can be related right back to blood sugar as a starting point, often more times than not. Yep.
And actually, speaking of our women's health products, so for anyone who is in perimenopause and menopause, we have a product called Ova-M. Again, it was sold out. It went crazy. But I'm actually, for a lot of my 5-day drop clients who are similar to me, they're actually getting that product as well, coupled with the 5-day drop, because it helps them with better sleep, better libido, helps with vaginal dryness. Yes, I said it. It helps with less night sweats, less hot flashes. So like women are kind of like, holy moly, I'm losing weight and my libido's back and I'm on fire and I'm not having the night sweats and all of that. So
cramping, the dry, right? If it's different things that happen. Yep, absolutely.
So again, if you're watching this, that someone shared it with you, and that is you, and you struggle with any of those issues besides the 5-day drop, I would add that on, you guys, and you add it on at a discount, which is really cool. Like it's all at a discount, you guys, which is awesome. So 5-day drop is shipping. Like literally, we're just getting through all of our back orders. It took them 6 days or something to get through back orders alone, you guys. It was nuts. Everything was nuts. I'm going to put another one up here. I just keep getting so many results. I'm like, yay. So I would love, if you're watching this and again, you feel stuck, you feel like maybe your body is working against you, because that's what a lot of women say. My friend Anne, oh my gosh, my friend Anne, she's lost. So she started on a healthy lifestyle in September, following our lean lifestyle last September. And to date, but she just lost 15 pounds in the last 6-8 weeks from the drop. And she was at her plateau. So she had lost 40 pounds, working out with a trainer, healthy, eating the best she's ever eaten in her life, then plateaued, which is super frustrating when you know that you still have, X amount to go. So when the drop came out, she did the drop and she's lost 15 pounds now over the last, I think it's 8 weeks, something like that. Yeah. And I saw her on the weekend, you guys, and I haven't seen her since before the drop. And it was amazing in her face. Like that was where I noticed it. And get this, her husband hasn't officially done the drop, but he's losing weight just because she's eating the foods, right? Like he's getting the perks of this.
That's awesome. Hey, can I add something to skin? Okay, we're going to get a skin benefit from this too, because it's part of the pack, and we could talk hours for that. I'm going to just make it really short and sweet. But you guys, it's part of it's also from the diet, from this plan. Just ask us for the link. We got a link. It's a page to look over. It's a long page. So don't just say you're going to 30 seconds in the car. Give yourself 10 minutes. There's a couple of videos to watch. Look over all the information. It's going to tell you what's going on. It's free. It's free information. But going back to skin and skin tone, if we have an overly ruddy complexion, this diet is helping with inflammation. That's one of the things that it addresses, one of the 4 stubborn ways that we hold on to weight that we talked about earlier. If you have an overly pasty or pale complexion or yellow, that can be liver stress or dark circles under the eyes, kidney. So again, we're hydrating, we're supporting kidney, we're getting digestive enzymes in there to help clean up extra proteins and things that stress liver and kidney. So that's why when people do this, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing changes in my skin, not just from the collagen that's helping you out, but also because of the diet, because we're doing things in the metabolism that are right, that we need.
I love it. There's so many results, you guys. I could just click on these all day. All right. So we are going to sign off. Again, you guys, make sure that you connect with whoever's connected this or whoever shared this with you. I would say, take a look and take a chance. Take a chance. If you're like me, the things that when I looked at this, I was like, it's simple, which means I can do it. Anything complicated, my brain just taps out. It works, which was everything. Oh, Paul's skin has also cleared up. Husband perk right there. It works. Again, you guys, I have over 50 people who have done this, and everyone has results. So I would say, ask whoever shared this with you. They could send you photos. They can send you results. They can send you all sorts of stuff. The key, again, is getting the 5-day drop ordered. And I would order it ASAP because I feel we're going to sell out again just based on how many we're selling. You guys, it's been crazy. And if you've already done the drop and you need the lifestyle transition program, that is on a promo on Thursday. So make sure that you're asking about that. And oh my gosh, I'm just trying to think. Did I miss anything, Phil?
No, we got it. We got it, and then some.
And if you've never ordered, you also get an additional $10 off the sale price. Yeah. So I had, actually, I'll just share this too. I had 103 customers last month, you guys, and over 50 something are doing the 5-day drop. Like, it's crazy right now. It is crazy. So I would say jump in, take a chance. I was the girl that was skeptical. I was like, I don't think that'll be me. And then it was me, which was really exciting, right? And I'm starting my next drop on Monday. So I have a group of girls who are doing it together to support each other. And also, you know, there's a ton of support when you're doing it, which really helps. So I would just say, make sure you connect with whoever shared this with you, get on the drop. And, you know, again, if you're stuck, if you've plateaued, if you're just frustrated because of those couple pounds every single year, like I was, it's time. And the last thing I'll say is the last 5 pounds for me has been when everyone notices, because there was muscle tone under my body. I've been working out for years. It was just kind of hidden under the inflammation and hidden under the bloat and all the rest of it. And so that's been my biggest sort of perk, is I was like, oh, dang, now I see the muscles in my legs, in my arms that I haven't seen in years. So welcome back to your muscles, you guys. Welcome back. Love it. All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Phil. As always, you just bring so much knowledge and a bit of science, you guys, because I don't know the science. I just know it works behind all of this. And I'm just excited for everyone else who's going to be doing this in the next few months with us. So
can't wait to hear more testimonies. Those testimonies are awesome. Thanks, you guys. Thanks so much for sharing. That was exciting. Great stuff.
Take care.
See ya. Bye-bye.